Okay. So I am so excited. So we have two awesome guest speakers on here, and I'm just going to go ahead and let them jump right in. Tell us a little bit about your story. Tell us where you're from and what this business has done for you so far, Sarah.
Okay, hi guys. I am Sarah Salinas. I'm from Texas. I live in Dallas, Texas. I'm 22 years old. I joined almost 2 years ago. In September, it'll be 2 years. And I'm a double diamond. I don't know if I said that. But I joined when I just moved to Dallas on my own for the first time. I was like in my own apartment for the first time. I was doing all of the adult things alone for the first time. So I was in a new school. I was working a few jobs, 3 jobs. I was a dance teacher. I was on a dance team at the same time. So I just had like a lot of things going on. It was just like a busy schedule, and I knew that like I needed to take on extra jobs because being a dance teacher doesn't pay a lot. Dancing on a dance team, it does pay, but it doesn't pay a lot either. So I just knew that I needed something that was going to fit around that schedule. And so I found somebody on Instagram posting about it. So make sure you're always posting. And I actually went to her and I was like, hey, what are you doing? And some other girls actually reached out to me too about the business. But the person I went to her because I connected with her, and she didn't have to come to me because I was like, you're a dancer, so I'm going to go to you. So I got started, and then there's a lot of stuff that's happened between then and now. I did a year in school doing all of those things, working and in dance, doing dance, all the things. And then I actually moved to Florida. So I'm from Texas. I moved to Florida. It was my first time moving out of state. I went into the Disney College program. So I was in Florida for like a few months. So that I left school, I left my job, and so I worked there for a little while, and I was able to take my business with me. So that was something I was super grateful for. At that time, I was already a diamond, and then when I came back, this past January, I was told that like I couldn't go back to my teaching job. So then I had to like go full in on this business. So like I was pretty full in, but at that point I was like, oh no, I cannot teach dance anymore. That's like my primary source of income. I thought that I was like a baller teaching dance, but it's not like that. But so after that, I was just like full in on this business, but it has brought so much to me. I'm able to be in a much better apartment. So when I moved here, I lived in like the most rinky-dink apartment in Dallas. That was like the cheapest thing I could find because I knew I was not going to be able to afford anything else. So I've been able to move out on my own. I've never had to ask my mom for anything. And that's something that was really big when I started this business, was that I really just didn't want to have to ask for help because my mom had enough on her plate already. So I got started because I needed I just wanted to pay my car bill, because just a few months before I started the business, I bought a car, and I bought it from like a sketchy place, honestly, and my mom didn't know about it. I don't know how I even got the car because I didn't have much money, but so I had to prove it wrong that I wasn't going to need her help. So really I joined just for my car payment, and then I started getting more, and I started seeing it like the bigger picture. And at the point when I really saw that this could do a lot for me was definitely when I came back in January, and I didn't have any other option really. So I just like kind of went full force with this business. But yeah, so I'm super thankful. I'm still in school. I'm still dancing. I'm still a dance teacher, but I just get to teach dance because I want to, not because I am forced to. So I used to teach like all hours. Like I would go to school in the morning until like 3:30, and then I would have to teach dance from 4 to 9. And so it was like a lot of like crammed time, and I didn't have enough time to focus on school. And so now I get to like teach dance because I want to, and like cut back on hours and be able to focus on school because I am a senior. So I only have I think like 2 semesters left, and then online semesters left. We'll see how they go. But I get to focus more on that instead of having to drain myself with teaching dance all the time. So that's something I'm super thankful for.
I love that. I love your story because I just feel like so many people can relate to that. Like, put a 1 in the chat if you are somebody who's a college student, or you danced, or you're busy, because she is such a busy person. And she just said like she still does so many of those things, but now she actually gets to do this because she wants to, not because she has to. And guys, she just told us what she's still doing right now while she's working her business. And she's not like, yeah, I'm successful because I'm just not that busy anymore. Like, no, she's still dancing. She's still a dance teacher. She's still in school, and she's doing this business, and she's a double diamond. And I know that she's earned some bonuses for getting to that rank, and she's making a full-time income from her phone, and she gets to do the things that she loves. And so that's literally the dream life. So if you're busy and you're making excuses, we're going to talk a little bit about that later, but thank you for sharing your story. That was so cool. So Sammy, we'll go to you next, and I'll just ask to unmute you, and then I'm going to spotlight your video, but tell us a little bit about who you are and where you're from.
Okay, so hi guys, I'm Sammy. Oof, I hate that spotlight thing. Hold on, let me change this. I hate looking at it. Okay, hi guys, I'm Sammy. If you don't know who I am, I'm from California. I'm about a year in, I'm almost at my 2-year mark actually. So in a couple months I'll be my 2-year mark, and I'm a double diamond with this business. And so if you have never heard my story before, I come from like corporate settings. So I've been in management, I've been in hospitality, anything that has to do with restaurants, hotels, running those, you name it, I've done it. I'm also in Southern California for you, Darian. But one of the things that I really like appreciate about this business is that, you know, the freedom of time. And that was like the one thing that I really got started with, because when I was working my job, I was working like 10 to 11 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, and it was absolutely wretched. And granted, I'm from California, so it's expensive to live here. So I was making great money, and it wasn't really like the monetary value that got me really into this business. What really drawed me in was the freedom of time. And I saw this girl who, if you guys know who Shay is, she was like in her Tahoe, you guys, like literally has her whole closet in the back of her car. She's never home. She's always on the road. She's always traveling. And she was 19 when I first saw her on Instagram, and I was like, what does she do? It has to be a scam. This can't be a real thing, because I worked so hard to get to where I was in my restaurant, and, you know, she's like living the dream working from her phone. And so I was just so curious about, you know, like, how could I do what she does, and how could I change my situation, because I was so overworked. And I missed all holidays. I missed all birthdays, all friend gatherings. Every vacation I've ever taken was like one vacation a year, if that possibly. And I had to request time off. And that was like the worst thing for me, because I'm a people person and I love my family so much. And so not being able to hang out with them, not being able to hang out with my boyfriend, who I've been with for forever. And so it really sucked. And so we both were in the same industry. He still is a restaurant manager. And so we would go like weeks at a time without seeing each other. And I just did not want to live like that anymore. And I knew that if like in the future I wanted to have children, that was not the life that I was going to live. And there's no escaping that. If you guys know about like the restaurant industry, like once you're in, you're in. And there's no changing that. Like, you know, the higher you go, it doesn't get more flexible, it gets worse. So I knew I needed to do something to get out of that. So I got started with this business, and it's changed everything for me, you guys. And I know we're going to talk about like being busy and stuff, but it was hard in the beginning. And I want you guys to know that when you first start this and you're working other jobs, like I didn't quit my job right away. And I didn't quit my job until I was at a financial place with this business to do that. So I just want you guys to know that, you know, you don't have to quit your job to do this and be successful, because I got all the way to Diamond and saved like a pretty penny with this business before I quit. So it's totally doable. You might lose like a little bit of sleep for like the first 4 months, but it's totally worth it, because now I don't have an alarm clock. I don't have a boss. It's fantastic. So that's kind of a little bit about me.
I love that so much. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to hear just some tips from y'all too, because I have heard both of your stories just on Zooms that Shay has done. And I was like, I need these girls to be on a Zoom with my girls and my guys, because y'all are killing it. And y'all are, and I like where you're at too, because Double Diamond's incredible, but I also think that it's a relatable rank. It's like where most people want to be, but it's also not like presidential or ambassador where people are like, oh, I can never do that. You know, you know what I mean? I feel like people are like, double, I want to be there. That's really freaking hard, but I think I can do it. And I want them to see like y'all are real people, and I want them to hear your stories. And so I love your stories, and I think that y'all inspired so many people just now. So okay, Sammy, let's talk about you just first. I'm going to go through some of the questions that I asked for you. So I want you to be really real and honest, because I know you're super red, you're a little firecracker. My team is totally used to that, so give us what you've got. Don't hold back. I want you to talk about belief. There's an analogy that you shared on another Zoom that I want you to share too, but just do your thing, take the stage, you know, talk about some belief and why we need to believe in ourselves and how much that impacts where we're going in the business and why we are where we're at. If we're not where we want to be, that belief has a lot to do with that. So go ahead and talk about that.
Okay, so this is like my favorite topic of all time, because I feel like when you first like go to join this business, you're like, I can't do this. Oh my God, like it's gonna be so hard. Like, why me? I'm not a unicorn. And I'm like, you guys, okay, you're already in. Like, you're already here. So why are you still doubting your capability? Like, the hardest part about this business is deciding to join the business. And so you already did the hardest thing we ever have to do. And that's literally it. And so, okay, I kind of just want to know, like, who in here, like, ever believed in, like, the Tooth Fairy or the Easter Bunny? Like, drop me a one. I'm like, everybody better drop ones, because I know you guys were expecting $5 bills under your pillow as soon as that tooth came out of your mouth. Okay, here's the thing, guys. That is a mythical creature, okay? Doesn't exist. Your mom was bringing in dollar bills every time you lost a tooth. Okay, Easter Bunny is not hiding chocolate eggs around your yard every morning. It didn't happen. Okay, so if you can believe in the dang Easter Bunny, you can have 2 seconds of belief in yourselves, you guys, because you are capable of so many great things. And the only thing that sets you apart is the fact that you don't think that. So you guys, like, I can't look at Sarah because she makes me just crack up. Okay. But anyway, okay, so seriously, like, honestly, it's that simple, okay? You wake up every day, you probably are doing something that you've never done before. You probably are a student in college and you never thought you could do it before you started. And here you are and trying to survive, like, late at night doing homework, okay? You learn as you go. And the great thing about this business is that you also earn as you go. So you might as well just freaking go, because you're just wasting time, you guys, like, sitting around wasting time. What's that going to do for anybody? Nothing. Okay. It's not hurting us as leaders. If you don't work your business, it's hurting you. So take yourself seriously. We are here to make sure that you guys are successful, and we can give you all the tips and tricks. But if you're not going to match our energy, there's nothing we can do about that. Okay, you guys, like, we're not going to sit here and drag you along to the beach if you don't like water. We're not going to have you come hang out in the sun if you're allergic to the sun. Like, it's just not a thing. So just do the things. We have simple things to do with this business. And I guarantee you guys, okay, if your boss told you, okay, I need you to stay an hour later every single day of the week for this entire month, and I'll pay you an extra $2,500. Drop it to you if you would do it. An extra hour of work for $2,500. Everybody better be dropping twos, because if there's any greens on here, that's like $67 an hour plus, okay? I know you're all not making that because minimum wage is out, like, what state are you guys in? Ours is like 13, but I've heard like crazy things like $8. That's nuts. Nope, count me out. Okay, all of you dropping twos, okay? If you put in an hour of work every single day, you will be a diamond leader, okay? That is an average of $2,000. So if you're going to go do that at your job that you absolutely hate, this is only for people who hate their job, if you love your job, disclaimer. But if you hate your job, you guys, and you're willing to do that for an extra $2,000 a month, why can you not do it for yourselves? Like, why can you not? Like, where does like the separation like fall? I just never understood that, because you cannot do anything else in this world as a woman. And I know that coming from corporate, you guys, it would have taken me so long, okay? Probably like 40 years to reach the top of a company. And someone would have to pass away. I would have had to beat like a million guys out just to get that position, you guys. And then hopefully get the desired wage that I want to be paid. Probably not going to happen. Like, it's just unfortunate. And that's like the time that we live in, and that's how it works. But you cannot work this business and do the same thing here anywhere else and get paid the way you get paid here, have the freedom that you have here, you guys. Like, I don't ever miss or ever want to go back to 10 to 11 hour days. And for those of you that are new and you're like, I don't know if I can believe myself because I don't really have a story, or I haven't really been successful yet. Well, where do you not want to be? Okay. Like, if you're going to do your business and work this so hard and you're like, I want to be a diamond, or I want to be a double, or I want to be a ruby, or I want to be an emerald. If you stop working, are you okay with going back to your job now? Do you love your job now that much that you're not going to work for an hour towards this business so you can quit that place? Probably not. Okay. So just do the things. It's so simple. And this business is 80% mindset and 20% work. So I always tell my girls, if you wake up in the morning and you feel defeated, do not do any messaging. Don't do any host to post. Don't talk to anybody. Go read a book. Go pour into yourself. Go pray. go listen to music, do whatever you need to do to get out of your funk, because working your business in that kind of headspace is going to get you nowhere. So you have to start with yourself, you guys, because if you wake up and you're like, okay, I'm going to sign 100 customers today. It's going to be a boss day. I'm a baddie. Like, you're going to feel that way. And people are going to feel that when you're talking to them. And that's where the difference lies. Okay. And so, sorry, my mom's trying to call me. Okay, that's my biggest tip ever, you guys, is just believe in your dang self. Because there's really, like, what happens if you believe in yourself? You'll probably succeed, but what happens if you don't? You have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. So you might as well just try to believe that you are capable and you are so powerful, and all of you can be successful in this business, because it doesn't take a type of person. If you see Sarah and I, we are bipolar opposites, you guys. Literally, we're so different, and we're both in the same position in this company. And the only reason why we're here is, one, we believed we can do it, and two, we did the work consistently every single day. Okay, so just do the things, believe in yourself, go hype yourself in the mirror, go call somebody if you need to, okay? I have like my hype mans on speed dial, and they know who they are, and they're on here, okay? And they know it. And when I'm feeling like weird, I call them immediately, and I get myself back in check, because it's so important, you guys, to have the right headspace and just do the things and believe in your dang self. I don't know how else I could say that to you. Just believe it.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And I love, like, that analogy is so, I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's also so true. Like, if we can believe in that stuff, like, why can we not believe in ourselves? Because at the end of the day, if you don't believe in you, who else is going to believe in you? And I know that you may have family who believes in you, but they're not going to be doing the work for you. And if you don't believe that you can actually get anywhere with this business, you're not going to put in the work like somebody who does believe in themselves. And I know that Sammy wakes up every single day and says, you know what? I believe in myself, and I know that I can do this, and that's why she's a double diamond. And if you want to be where she is, then you have to start doing the things that she's doing, because success leaves clues. So believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself yet, I want you to borrow belief from me or from whoever your enroller or your upline is, because we believe in you enough to hold a Zoom on a Monday night like this every single week consistently, because we believe in you so much, because we know that you can do this, and because we want to pour out all of our tips to you and everything and give you the tools that you need to be successful. And we know that that can happen for you. We know that it's possible because we've done it. And if we could do this, so can you, because there is nothing special about Sarah or Sammy or me or Shay that y'all don't have. You can do this too. If we can, we know that you can too. So just believe in yourself, and it's really that simple. And you can grow that belief too by self-development. Like she said, get up in the morning and read a book. I know I shared this, a little bit ago on a different Zoom, but whenever I wake up in the morning, the first thing that I do is not look at my phone and check my text messages. I get on my self-development. I do my affirmations. I'm listening to myself, or I already said that, my self-development. I'm doing my devotions and things like that. I'm doing all the things before I check my phone, because if the first thing I do is check my phone in the morning, I'm letting whatever outside circumstances may be on my phone to decide what my day is going to be like. And you want to be the rudder of your ship. And so if you wake up in the morning and the first thing that you do is look at this girl with like an 18,000 pack on Instagram and she's lifting these weights, and you're like, dang, I'm never going to look like that, then you just lost the belief in yourself before your day even got started. So why not pour into yourself before you start pouring out to other people? Or maybe you get a text message first thing in the morning and it's somebody wanting to quit or somebody wanting to cancel their order. Then you're going to start off your day being like, well, this is going to be a crappy day. Or maybe it's something good, but you don't want to have that 50-50 chance of it not being good, and you don't want that to be the deciding factor of your day. So I want to challenge all of you to start waking up in the morning, doing your self-development, reading your devotions, whatever it is that you do. Make sure you are doing self-development. I always journal and do affirmations, and if you're not doing that yet, I want you to start and see how much different you feel. See how much more belief that you have in yourself, because you're doing those things to start your day off on the right foot. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about enrolling distributors, Sammy, really quick before we go to Sarah. So what are you doing? Let's talk about too, like how many you really enroll every month. We're trying to complete our sub success over here. We're going to do it. I'm claiming that for every single one of these people. 3 distributors minimum is our steps to success. And so how are you enrolling them? Where are you finding them? What does your conversation with them look like? What's your follow-up system? Just all those things.
Okay, so this is like my favorite because I love enrolling distributors rather than customers because one, I would rather teach someone how to enroll 10 customers rather than me enroll like 90 customers. That doesn't sound like fun. So distributors are the way to go. A couple things that one and two things like that really hit for me is one, you have to believe that you're capable of doing it. And I know this comes back to belief, but like, you guys, I have some months where like the first half of the month, I'm feeling weird. Like, I'm like, okay, I can't enroll distributors. Like, I don't know why nobody wants this. And it's like, it's our own thing. Like, we create this. Like, everybody wants an opportunity like this, okay? And you guys know because you're committed, you're on this Zoom, you're in it, and you want to be successful. You know what this can do for your life. Everybody wants that. And so the second I flip that switch and I'm like, everyone wants this. Like, who wouldn't want this? Like, I know I would pay loads of money to start this business again. Okay, you guys, and it's $99 to get started. I spent more going into Target for toothpaste and I came out with who knows what, okay? So everyone has the money. It's not a lot of money to get started with the business. And so that's the first thing, is making sure that you know what you have your hands on is so important. And the second thing is posting consistently, okay? I'm not a huge distributor messenger. And I will say that like confidently because I believe in law of attraction heavily. And I always journal about it. Like, I mass enroll distributors. Whoever needs this business, like, I pray about it. And I'm like, God, please put whoever needs this opportunity in front of me. And I will do the work, but I need you to help me like with those people. And so that's like one thing that's super important is consistently posting, okay? Because you have to think, if Monday I'm on Instagram and I'm like, let's say like when I was looking at Shay's Instagram, you guys, what if she had not had posted that day and I did not read that post about being able to travel, being able to pay for this, pay for that, not having to clock in at a job? That would have never sparked my curiosity. I would have never come up with that idea on my own, you know, like, oh, I should work from home. Like, nobody thinks that. So it's our job to put that in front of people. And I'm a firm believer that like posting, especially when your life posts are like real and raw and you talk about like the vulnerable things in your life. Like, I have no problem being open, and I will tell people like, guys, I remember when I couldn't even fill up my gas tank, or I remember when I couldn't go grocery shopping more than one time a week, or I remember that like, you know, I'd have to check my debit account before I swiped my card doing anything. Like, I remember going through that. And so people are also going through that, you know, like there's a statistic, I think it's like 75% of the world would like not end up in divorce if they had an extra $400 a month to give a comfort and cushion to their family. $400, you guys. You can make that in keto coffee samples, okay? And I do that every month, so I know it's possible. And it's not even like they have to go Ruby to make that. Like, no, there's multiple ways to make money. So the more you guys can put that out there, the more people will come to you. And then another good tip I like to do is on my life post at the end, there's always a call to action. So it always says something like DM opportunity if you feel like this is something you need, or message me bids if you feel like you could use, you know, extra income in your life. There's always something like do this, comment this, message me this, tap this, something where they're like needing help like to make that initiative, because some people are just so afraid sometimes that they don't think like, okay, well, she's doing it and she's amazing at it, but like, I don't think I'll ever be. So giving that like open door for them to reach out to you, like, hey, if you want to chat, like, info's free. I put that on a lot of my posts, you know, let's just talk. No, like, no pressure, no nothing. And they know that they can come and like have those conversations with me. And that's a lot of what I do. And that's a lot of how I attract distributors. But usually on average, I enroll about 10 distributors a month. Some months it's like 20. I don't know what happens, but some months it's like, okay, your life posts are really good this month. I don't know. But usually it's like 10 to 20 is pretty much my average. But I will tell you that I do have months, you guys, where I'm in my head and I probably enroll like 2, or I'll enroll like 3. And it's not because like, oh, this is like dry season. I don't believe in that. There's no dry season. Like, it's all about our businesses, okay? And, you know, I really feel like you have to believe first, because once you're excited, everyone else is excited. Because if I come to you and like, hey girl, like I started this business and it's pretty cool and you make money from your phone and you like sound like the girl from that movie and like you're really quiet, like what are you even saying? But if I get on my story and I'm like, hi guys, like what's up? Okay, seriously, who wants to make $1 million? Because I'm gonna make $1 million with this business and I need 5 more people. So these spots are filling up fast. Like I don't even tell them anything. They don't even know anything before they message me. But my excitement is what gets them drawn in, you guys, because I'm so excited about this business. That's what attracts people. So you guys need to figure out a way to get excited about your business again. You know, what is it doing for you? What is it paying for the small stuff? Is it helping your personal growth? Talk about it. Is it growing your relationship with the Lord? Talk about it. Is it bringing you new friends and, you know, great friendships? Like I've met some of my best friends through this business that I am inseparable with. Talk about it. You know, because like I was a boys girl, like I never had girlfriends, okay? And so that was another thing with this business too that I really loved is like the friendships. So talk about whatever it's doing for you in a positive way. And that way it opens that door. Like you don't know if someone needs this business just for friends, or if someone needs this business because they're struggling with their like love for the Lord, or if someone needs this business because they don't feel confident in themselves and they need that self-development and personal growth. All of those things attract all different kinds of people. So you just have to be like unique and be you, and you'll attract goobers like just like I do, because that's literally what I attract. I have the goofiest people on my team because I'm the ultimate goofball. So yeah, just be you and be genuine and be consistent.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's talk really quick because you said that you usually do like a call to action on your post and you say, you know, message this word to, you know, whatever. Do you ever have people not message you, and what do you do whenever they don't? Because a lot of people are going to leave here and they're going to post one of those and they're going to be like, I'm going to have 87,298 people message me and it's going to be so great and I'm going to go ambassador. But you're not going to do that the first time. And so whenever you post that out there, talk about how you're planting seeds and talk about what you do in your mindset whenever you don't get 87 billion text messages right then.
Okay, that's actually a really good one, because I hate like this world we live in is so like instant gratification. But you guys have to think like you went to, okay, those of you who went to college, right? You went to college probably for like 4 years. Okay, you committed for 4 freaking years to get that piece of paper at the end. Like Brit's dying because she knows what I'm talking about. So you know what I mean? So like, it's not so much about like, let me post one post and get 19 distributors. Okay. I'm in this business for life. So if it takes me 30 days of posting consistently with call to actions, all 30 days, and I sign one person from those 30 days, I'm set. Like, that's awesome, okay? Because I'm in this business for the year, not for the week, not for the day, not for the hour, not for the single post. So I know that if I'm consistent every single day, it's going to come because it's inevitable. You cannot do the work and not reap the benefits. Like, it just doesn't happen that way. So if you're doing the work, try not to set like unrealistic goals. Like, I never go into the month like, I'm going to sign 40 distributors this month. Like, that's cool if you're going to reach for it. But you also have to remember, like, if it's halfway through the month and you're like at distributor number 2, that's not the time to get discouraged, okay? Because all the work that you're doing in those first 3 weeks, you might sign all 40 in the last day of the month and you have no idea. But if you were to stop at the 15th, because you weren't seeing any results thus far, then you missed out on all 40 of those on the last 2 weeks. And that does happen, okay? I see people, go for promotions and 25th rolls around, numbers run, and everyone's like, oh yeah, I can't do it. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, miracles happen in this business in the last hour of this business, okay? So I will tell you a story. So like, I think it was like March. Yeah, back in March, okay? February, weird month for me. I was like in my head, not reading, not building myself, not doing personal development. I was trying to go double. It was just not happening, okay? And it wasn't happening because I wasn't doing the things. And then March rolls around and man, like I couldn't tell you, something around like the 17th of the month, I pulled my head out of my butt, you guys, and got my butt into gear. And in literally like 8 days, my team pulled in some massive volume, massive distributors. I think we literally, like, I'm going to be super vulnerable, but like, I think we were maintaining executive. Like, I had lost my diamond rank that month before, gone to executive, and gone double the following month. Okay. So it's just not about quitting. And I love that like Morgan asked that, because I feel like, you know, sometimes we feel like we're doing all the work and all the things, and you get so like discouraged when you're not seeing like the benefits come right away, like full throttle. But nothing like in life works like that. Like we work for 2 weeks in a regular job and then get a paycheck a week later because it's prorated. Okay. So if you stopped coming to work on that first week, you're not getting paid on that third week. Same thing with this business. If you stop doing the things that second week, third and fourth, kiss it goodbye, you know? So you just have to keep doing the things and think of it in a long-term success. You know, are you trying to do this business and go ambassador in a month? Well, if not, then just do the things, you know, keep being consistent and it will come. It will come.
I love what you said whenever you said it's impossible for you to be consistent and not see the benefits. Like that is gold, because, or whatever, you said something similar to that. I think you said a little bit better, but, so guys, you can't just expect, cause listen, Sammy didn't come from one post. Cause I don't remember if you said it on this Zoom or another Zoom, but you blocked Shay like 18 times before you
Oh yeah, I didn't tell them that story.
So she's
okay, I'll tell you that really quick because this is hilarious,
nice.
you guys. Okay, let's just talk about consistency. So when I first saw Shay posting before I got started, okay, I was like, this chick's there's no way this 19-year-old girl is making all this money from her phone. She's living out of her car. She has 2 houses. Like, no, this isn't a thing. Okay. And so I blocked her. I was like, no, this isn't a thing. And then literally like 3 weeks went by. Okay. And I could not stop thinking about her. I literally could not stop thinking. I was like, her outfits are cute. Her clothes are cute. Her car is cute. Like her life is cute. What is she doing? So I unblocked her. Okay. Then I stalked her life again because we're FBI agents. All women are FBI agents. Don't tell me otherwise. And then I stalked her life again. Okay. And then she talked about like, I think at that time, I think she was still in school at that time. She was still going to school, but still making like stupid money from her phone. And I'm like, okay, I'm working 12 hours a day and I live in California. I make great money, but I'm like slaving away. Blocked her again. Okay. Literally blocked this girl twice. Poor Shay. Love her to death. And then I could not stop thinking about her again, you guys. Okay. And I unblocked her again. And then I was like, all right, I can't stop thinking about you. What do you do? And I'm like messaging her like meanfully. Like I'm so angry that her life is like so amazing. Okay. And I messaged her again. And I'm like, okay, tell me what you do. Like, what is it that you do? Enlighten me. And so she tells me all the things. And it took me like 2 days. And after I thought about it, thought about blocking her again. And then I did it. And I was like, well, maybe I should just try it because my life is like so lame right now. And she's living the dream. So I joined her and I got started and I quit my job 4 months later. So keep posting.
Oh my gosh, guys, I love that so much. If you are not encouraged by that, I don't know what will encourage you, because there are some of you who are probably out there thinking like, oh my gosh, like, you know, some of these people are blocking me or they're ignoring me or they left me on red. You have to stop focusing on that stuff, because if Shay had started being like, oh my gosh, that Sammy girl, Sammy Pie on Instagram blocked me and now my life is over and I just need to quit this business, like she would never be here right now. So just remember that you're going to have haters, and those people are going to be the ones who end up joining you later. And Grant Cardone always says, if you don't have haters, you're not working hard enough. And so my challenge to you is to focus on the ones who say yes. Stop going back through and looking at messages that people didn't respond to, because that thought does not serve you. So don't waste your time going to see people read your messages. And if somebody comes and tells me that, oh, everybody's leaving me on red, I'm like, how do you know that? Because you're wasting a heck of a lot of time going back through all of your messages to see if they read it or not. So I want you to pay attention to the ones who say yes. And I don't want you to count how many people who have blocked you. I don't want you to know that number, because I don't want you focused on that. I want you to focus on the ones who say yes. And so be consistent, like she said. And those distributors are going to come. And guys, some of you have just joined this business and you're expecting this thing to happen overnight. Love you to death. It's not going to happen overnight. Okay. I wish that it would, but I'm just going to be honest with you. It's taken me a long time to get where I am. Shay and I did not just go to bed the first night in our business and wake up ambassador and presidential top income earners, okay? We took time and we were consistent, and it took us years sometimes to sign people that, you know, I'll just use Kane as an example. He's my one of my guy distributors from Australia. He joined a couple weeks ago, killing it. It's on here on this Zoom, doesn't make excuses about his time zone. And he texted me for the first time in 2018. So we talked until then, and 2 weeks ago, he said, I'm ready to join, and he finally got started. So it's going to take time to plant those seeds. So there's a question in the chat, and I'll let you just kind of answer that, Sammy, in the chat if you don't mind. And then we're going to go ahead and move to Sarah. So Sarah, let me go back to our questions. Hang on, I got lost over here. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your leadership shift since February, because that's something that Shay mentioned to me and talked about, like how you're like, I'm going to go all in. You kind of talked about that in your story. Like, I'm going to go all in with this business. So tell us what that looked like for you, and what are some things that you did, maybe some books that you read, or just things that you did to kind of get that leadership going. And then we'll talk about, you know, all of like the social media stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So like I said, when I came back in January from Florida, I not really lost my job. I still had a job at the studio, but I was only a sub. So I didn't want to have to get a job and have to clock into something, because at Disney, I did have to clock in. I had 15-minute breaks. Like, in my 6-hour shift, I only had one 15-minute break, and it was just like, I did not want to go back to anything like that. So come that time, I was like, okay, well, if I want to rank up and if I want to make more money, I gotta get a team together. So I had my vision, and I saw that first. I knew what I wanted, but to get there, it wasn't gonna just be me. It wasn't something that I could do by myself, and I knew that I had to help other people in order to get where I wanted to go to. So it was a team effort. So I had to grow myself, because obviously at that time I just like didn't have the leadership like level. I always like was like, okay, Shay can do it, Kayla can do it, like they got this and all this things, and so I just like relied on other people to kind of lead the team that I did have. But then I was like, okay, well, if I want to be a double diamond, I need to step up. So I started, you know, like throwing myself into posting, like Sammy said, posting consistently, because I also don't message for distributors. I do attraction marketing. And so I just like did that consistently, and that was how I grew my team. But also in growing your team, you have to grow yourself too. So I also was reading books. I love podcasts. Like, I listen to podcasts all day long. I listen to them in the bathroom. I listen to them whenever I'm driving. I just love podcasts. I listen to Mindset Mentor, Trent Shelton, Empower Her, I think it's called. And then I read Leadership, and that book is so good. You have to read Leadership. If you are struggling in your leadership right now, that is like, even the first page, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. So I think his name's John Maxwell. I listen to all of his stuff too, and it's just, you have to pour into yourself in order to pour into others, because if you're not doing that, you have nothing to give to them. You're not going to know how to lead them. You also have to learn like colors and all of those things. So you have to take the time to really pour into yourself. That way you can grow in order to help other people grow and get to where you want to go. That was like a lot to get to where you want to go. So if your vision is big enough, you're going to do those things to get there. And that's like for any rank. If you want to be a ruby, if you want to be an emerald, or if you want to go further, like, you have to pour into yourself in order to take other people with you. And you can promote on your own, but it's more fun with other people, and it lasts with other people. And then you make those friendships and all of those things too.
That is so good. I love that you said it lasts with other people, because I think a lot of people are like, well, I just want to get there on my own, or like, I could get there on my own. Yeah, you can get there, but are you going to be able to sustain it? Are you going to be able to stay there if you're not helping other people grow? And I know for me, that's what I did for a long time. And let me just tell you firsthand, it doesn't work. And I tried it for you, so you don't have to. Just take my word for it and do something different, because it didn't work. And what Sarah's talking about, you know, she didn't just join this business thinking like, oh my gosh, yep, I know how to be a leader. This is great. Leadership is easy. Leadership is hard, but it's so worth it. And I know that every single day she's so thankful that she did grow in her leadership and take that time to do so, because guys, it's not something that just comes naturally to a lot of people, and it doesn't have to be a natural trait for you to be able to learn how to do it. It's a muscle that you grow. So when you're talking about doing leadership and developing as a leader, it just takes taking those first steps to say, what do I need to do? What do I need to learn? Probably everything. So go find leadership books. If you don't know what to read on leadership, go ask your enroller, because so many people will know how to do that, or to be able to point you to different podcasts and books that have helped them. Because if you're on a team with a successful, or if you're on a successful team, I guess I would say you probably have somebody that's leading you who knows what they're doing. And so take their advice, take their cues, and watch what they're doing, because they're getting into leadership. They're learning how to do all of those things. Okay, so let's talk about your story. So you're really stinking good at graphics and doing all of the things. So I don't know if you can screen share, if you're up for screen sharing, if that's going to be too hard or not, you're not prepared, whatever. Do whatever you can. You don't have to do anything like super special, but I would love just for you to show people how you make some of your stories using whatever apps it is that you use, and how you make them really simple, how they can make them cute. And I guess too, like, why it's important to make these cute stories on social media, because you said that you do a lot of attraction marketing, meaning that a lot of people come to you. I think a lot of it has to do with just how like attractive your profile looks. I'm not saying that you have to look a certain way as a person. I'm saying that your profile, you want to make it cute. You want to make it bright and colorful. And so Sarah's is super bright and colorful. So tell us how you do all that.
Okay, so I think that also whenever I was ready to like really do things, the shift from like being able to enroll more distributors was definitely like being myself on my page. Like you have to be yourself because people can see right through you. So if you're only sharing slides of other people made, people can see that. If I share Sammy's slides, she has a different color scheme than me. She likes different stickers than me and all those things, and people can tell. So when you start being yourself in your post and in your slides, like they will start coming to you and start like watching you. Like I have people that message me, not at all interested in the business, but they're like, "Girl, you're killing it. Like I love watching your stories." And I'm like, "Well, why don't you buy something?" But it's okay. One day they will. But you have to like really just be yourself in everything that you do, and you'll start seeing that you'll enroll more customers, more distributors, and it'll just like be so much more beneficial for your business. So the apps that I use, everything that I use to make things is free. I have a very small YouTube channel of little videos that I use, but I use PicsArt and Over for a majority of everything, and Pinterest. So on Pinterest, you can actually like look up like Instagram template or like collage template, and you can save those. So you don't have to make up a background on your own. You can save it, and then you can take it to Over and make it your own. So I'm not on my phone on Zoom, so I can't screen share, but like this is something that I was making right before this Zoom. And so it's like a business slide, but it's not hard because this background I took from Pinterest. These little Polaroids I took from PicsArt. So they have stickers. They're PicsArt stickers. And these are just pictures I already had. And then the letters like are just already on Over. You just have to like just do it. Just take the time to learn how to do it and then make them your own. And so take screenshots of like other people's. And so like Shay, she's different than what I post, but I'll screenshot hers. I'll put like the exact same words on there. I'll put the pictures in like pretty much the same spot, but it'll have a background that matches my personality. It'll have the colors that match my personality. So if you go to my page, I have like yellows and pinks and blues, and that's like the colors that I like. Some people like darker colors or whatever. So you just have to find like what is you and what makes you stand out. So like on this Zoom right now, there's 80 people. What makes you stand out if somebody comes and looks at your page? And so you have to think like, okay, I can't post the same thing as all the other people. Like, yes, use them, but also be you, because there's a million distributors. And so you got to give people a reason why to come to you, whether that be through your post or your stories. But I can send a video of all that stuff, but on PicsArt you can get free stickers, and you just like search in them. This is PicsArt. There's like a little sticker tab right here, and if you just search in the search bar Polaroid, a Polaroid will pop up. Or if you search like phone, an iPhone will pop up. If you search girl, like little gifs will come up or something. And granted, I do go to school for graphic design, but this isn't anything that I learned in school. I learned it all like watching videos, watching like tutorials and Over. Like whenever I first started, I did not understand Over at all. I would text Shay and be like, "Can I have your stickers?" And she'd be like, "Oh, you have to have the pro version." And I was like, "No." So I thought I was only gonna have ugly stories. And then I figured it out. I like figured out how to get free fonts, how to do all this stuff, because I was like, I don't really want to pay for Over. So you just have to like want to grow yourself. Just the same for leadership, how I said like leadership, you have to grow you to get your team to grow. Like you have to teach yourself a lot of things, so that way you get better at them, because it's not just going to happen overnight. Like Morgan said about promoting and things, it doesn't happen overnight. You just have to give yourself time to grow and all of that stuff, and it'll pay off like in the long run. Definitely has paid off for just learning and watching videos of those things.
Yes. And somebody asked in the chat, they said, how many graphics do you try to make a day? Is there a certain amount, just every like one day you try to make a lot for the week, or how does that work?
I don't really actually do them like per day. I just kind of do them whenever I have the time to, and I always do them before bed. Like I don't want to waste part of my day making them, because that's time that I could spend talking to somebody. So I do them like whenever I'm sitting down. There's something that I kind of like, I have fun doing them, so I kind of like relax doing them. But I kind of make like business slides. I'll make a few like every few weeks. That way there's like some different ones here and there. But typically like I'll just make one and share it over and over again. And for over, it's super simple because so this slide that I'm making right now, I haven't made a business slide in a while. So this is actually first one. This one right now, you can press this button up here and it has like a multiple ones and it'll like duplicate your slide. So this little 2 square. So it'll put another slide that has the exact same stuff on there, and all you gotta do is change the words. So just make the initial slide, change the words to say something else on it, and do it 6 times over, and then you have like a set of slides that didn't take you that long because you just changed the words. It doesn't take as long as you would think it does, but you gotta take time to learn it.
Yes, I love that. And I love that you said that you don't do this. Like, you're not waking up like, okay, power hour, gonna make some slides. Like, that's not income producing directly. It's like indirectly income producing. So you want to make sure that you're spending time to do it and to learn it, but not spending your whole entire day doing it. And like she said, she does it when she has time. So maybe if this is like your busy day and you're like, I have 30 minutes to work my business, let's try not to spend 30 minutes making slides. You're going to do this on a day you've got more time. And so maybe it's not a day that Sarah coaches, dance and does all those things. So, or teaches, whatever you do with dance, coach, teach.
Yeah.
So,
and also one more thing about videos, like, because in the morning, I always make a coffee video. And I've always done this like since the start. And even in the start, they looked really crappy. They looked so bad. And I go back and look at them and I'm like, oh my gosh. So they've gotten better because I've gotten better, because I've like taken the time to think about it and stuff. And so on Over, whenever you save things, they like save as little projects. So this one is like a coffee video, and like I said, I duplicated it to make multiple. So now if I take a new coffee video, I could just switch out this video with the new coffee one. It keeps the words on there and stickers and stuff. That way I don't have to go like waste time like trying to make a whole new one. So if you watch my stories like consistently, if somebody was stalking me, like stickers and same words on there, but it's because I just like switched out the video, and it's super easy, especially if I'm busy. So if you take the time to make one of them or like 3 of them and just keep swapping them out, new videos, and it takes 5 seconds to take a video. You're already making your coffee. Just put on Snapchat, take a video, switch it out. And it really is what has gotten me a lot of my customers, is doing videos on my stories, because they see that I'm using it, they see that I'm consistent with it, and then after, it takes a lot of time for people to see it consistently. They'll come and be like, hey girl, like I've seen what you post on your story every single day, like tell me about it. But it took them that long. Like I've been posting since I very first started this business, but because I consistently do it, it creates the curiosity.
Yes. And I love that you said that your first ones totally sucked, because mine did too. So don't feel like you're gonna go in there the first time and it's gonna look like Sarah's, because it's not. But you're gonna get better at it, and the more that you do it, and literally go and screenshot some that you like, and like she said, make your own, and that way you're gonna get used to it, and then you're gonna start coming up with these ideas on your own and just different things you can do. So okay, the last thing I want to know is just kind of talk about, like, roll this all into one, talk about enrolling customers. Where do you get most of yours? Is it from Instagram, or is it mostly from post to post? Give us some ideas, maybe some scripts that you use if you're willing to do that, and then talk about like just making no excuses to close us out.
Yeah. Okay. So I was talking to Shay before this, and like majority of my customers are from Facebook. So before January, I was not working Facebook that well. And then somebody said something at conference that was like, max out your friends list. And then so after conference, I made a goal to like max out my friends list in February. So I did that, and I hit that goal, and I was super pumped about it. I think I had like 1,000 friends before that. So I added every single day, because the more people you have, obviously the more eyes on you, the more new people coming in. If you're posting consistently, they're going to see that, and they're going to get curious about what you're doing. So I made it a goal, max out my friends list, and then I made sure that I was always interacting with them, and then also posting all the time. So once I started getting serious with Facebook, because Instagram's great, but it's honestly where I get my distributors for the most part. I do sign customers from there too, but majority is going to be distributors on Instagram for me, and Facebook is where I'm getting all my customers, because Facebook's more casual. I can post on there like 5 times a day and nobody cares. I can post about the coffee every single morning and nobody cares, because really only like 35% of your friends list sees your post every single day. And so it's going to be the same people seeing your stuff. So if you're not posting it consistently, you're never going to reach new people, but you have to interact with other people, so that way they interact back with you. So if I post something like today, I posted about the cleanse. I've posted that cleanse post before, like my first few months into the business, and I didn't get any interaction. And it was because I didn't grow my friends list. I wasn't interacting with people. They didn't know what the heck I was doing because I wasn't consistent. But I posted it today, and a lot of my customers were like, hey, I want that. Some new people, I got some customers off of it. And it's because I take that time to really like get to, like, not necessarily like get to know them person to person, but like also just interacting. It helps so much on Facebook. And doing host posts, that was the biggest thing that changed in my business, was when I did host posts. And people told me all the time to do it, and they were like, here's my script, here's exactly how to do it, and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, whatever, girl, like you do not get that many customers from host posts, like there's no way. And nobody wants to post for me, and nobody cares to get into a giveaway. And so I just like totally doubted all of that stuff. And then I was like, let me try it, because I want to go double diamond. And so I was doing it, and I had signed the most customers I've ever signed in probably my entire business. I signed in 1 month, and I was like so shocked by it. I was like, what in the world, what is this? So ever since I started doing that, I've done it every month since. So the first month I was doing the TFX host post. We probably have it. It's just like testers needed, talks about TFX. I was doing that, and I signed a lot of customers, but then I was like, okay, well, it's starting to like not work as well. I'm still staying consistent with it, but it's just not getting as much attention, and it's not a lot of BVs. So I switched over to coffee host post, and that is what I've been doing for the past 2 months now. And I have the volume for coffee and greens, because I never let them just get coffee. I always do coffee and greens. And usually if they come from a host post, I go live on Facebook every single morning. They see my live, and they came from a coffee host post. They see me making my coffee, and then I message them, and they're like, oh yeah, I saw you make that. It looks really good, blah, blah, blah. I highly suggest going live, because I started doing that recently, like within the past 3 months, and it has helped so much, because people will watch it and not comment, not say anything, and then they'll message me and be like, oh yeah, I've been watching all of your videos. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, thanks for commenting. But all I do is like host posts every single day. So you go down your friends list, message them for host posts. Everybody wants to be entered into a giveaway. You're not asking them to buy anything. And then eventually, like a month later, after I get all those people to do host posts, I go back and I follow up with either like, do you want to be in the business if their host post exploded, or do you want to try a product? Because a lot of times that's also how I get customers, is following up with people who did post for me. Because if they posted for you, they probably are fine with posting, and maybe they'll be in the business. But host a post on Facebook. Definitely go live if you're not doing it. I know it's scary. And the reason that I went live was because there was a brand new DT on my team going live her very first day, and I was like, oh heck no, I gotta step up if she's gonna be going live her first day of the business. So I was like, I need to do it. So I started doing it, and now it's like I've become comfortable, but it's also like helped me seal the deal with so many people, because you can post all day long pictures of the coffee and what it does and stuff, but when you are actually showing it on your feed, that's what's going to get you your customers. So being super personable, staying consistent with host to post, and actually write it down. So I have a tracker that I literally taped this to a folder, and I check it off every day, and doing that helps me so much in seeing what I'm doing, because you can say all day I messaged 20 people, but then you go back down your message list and you're like, oh, I actually only messaged 5. I actually only got a 1 host post. And it's like, no, you have to track it, hold yourself accountable, and then you'll see that it'll pay off. So that's how I've gotten like all of my customers, is Facebook, consistency, and being personable in host posts. But also with excuses. So I mean, I do this business full time. I don't start school until August. So I can make excuses all day with like, I want to sleep in, like I really just don't want to wake up. I want to go to the pool because I have a pool like 5 seconds from my door. I could go to the pool every day if I wanted to, but I decide that like my vision is bigger than what my excuse is. And so I know those excuses seem kind of small right now, but like whenever I was in school, I could say like I need to do my schoolwork, and that's true, but like I need to like do this, that, or the other. You can make excuses for anything. You could waste your time doing absolutely anything. You just have to choose to do the right things during that time. You can waste your time watching Netflix, or you can use that time to work your business, but you can't do both of them. And you can make excuses, or you can make money, but you can't make both of them. So you just have to kind of pick your heart. And there's a podcast that Pam Souter did. It's literally called like Pick Your Heart, and that was the podcast that really like shifted everything for me. She was talking about like you could either like eat the French fries or feel good. And I was like, oh, true girl. You can either work your business or not move anywhere. Like pick your heart. Like, and so definitely listen to that podcast. But with excuses, you just have to take them off the table. And because that's literally going to be the only thing that holds you back from moving forward in your business, is if you keep making excuses for yourself. If you keep saying, I'll do it tomorrow, or maybe tomorrow I'll get that 10 posts to post up, or maybe tomorrow I'll finish my checklist. Like, tomorrow it never comes, sister. Like, if you have ever tried to work out consistently and you're like, tomorrow I'll do it, like, you know it's not going to happen if you don't do it today. Like, there's no tomorrow. Like, do it now. Stop making excuses, because they're only going to hold you back from where you want to go.
So freaking good. Oh my gosh. I literally have messages right now blowing up my phone saying that this is the best Zoom that they've ever been on. So that y'all killed it. Thank y'all so much for sharing all of your stories and all of your tips. I know that I learned a lot too, especially with social media and just like different ideas for posting. So I love that. And I really hope that all of y'all learned something, because there was so much value being added here tonight. And I'm going to post the recording so that y'all can check it out and watch all of the tips on signing customers, signing distributors,